Welcome, Jason Parsons. Who has a recipe? How are you? Using some of those root veggies. So this is a strudel. Most people think sweet when you think strudel, not you.
Change it up a little bit, you know.
Savory.
Yeah, I mean, the root vegetables, obviously this time of year, we're looking for those warm, cozy flavors, you know.
Yeah.
But they have that, but you just got to really cook them a little bit more. You got to get them going, you know.
Okay.
But what I thought we'd do today is change it up. Exactly that, a strudel. You know, everybody thinks of, you know, apples or whatever, rhubarb strudel. But we're taking root vegetables.
Nice.
And I've got, you know, simply parsnips, and I've just diced them down. You know, you don't have to get too fancy with this because we're going to cook them quite well, right?
Okay.
But
this is a veggie I very rarely use, parsnips.
Parsnips? Oh, I love it.
Love your parsnips.
You know, other than the fact that that wasn't my nickname in school, but we won't get into that.
Oh, did they call you that, parsnips?
No, they didn't. No trauma. No trauma.
Parsnips.
Yep, took me years of therapy to get over that. But swede, you know, or yellow turnip.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom in England, I think, you know, there isn't a week that goes by that we don't eat swede, you know,
right.
It's the way to go, right?
Regular part of the diet. Okay, some nice chunky
little
onions there.
Yep, a little bit of fennel. But you can see all I've done is chop them up, and I mean, you know, I'm not getting all fancy here. They just need to be fairly even because you want them to cook the same. But you can kind of overcook this a little bit if you want, because it's really not going to make much of a difference. You just want to really get the flavors going. But simply, a nice, you can use a roasting tray if you want. Yeah. But then what I've got is just a little bit of butter.
That's a lot.
I'm not going to use
That's a lot of butter.
I'm not going to use. Well, maybe I should. No,
we'll just use a little bit of butter.
But you know, the only thing is though is if you want to go a little bit lighter on the butter, then I would take a little bit of apple juice to the bottom, or even just a little bit of water, because otherwise it's going to burn. Right?
Oh, I see.
The butter is going to become that nice saucy flavor around the outside.
Okay.
So as you can see, I'm kind of talking so I can distract you on how much
butter
I'm putting in.
what's happening right now. I noticed what you did there.
Honey. Hey, honey. Let's put a little honey on there. So,
yeah, honey, do it.
But you know, just to give it sweetness, and I think it gives that nice caramelization with root vegetables.
Right.
Garlic. You can leave them whole if you're, you know, living on the edge a little bit. But if you're a little nervous, then you can just slice them down.
Right.
You know,
kind of rough. I mean, that's the good thing about doing it in this style. You're just throwing it all together.
Exactly.
You don't get fancy.
Now, the herbs, I think it's really, you know, everybody has their preference. Some people don't like rosemary, some people do. Yeah. Sage, thyme, I've got all of it in here. But you want to go with the harsher or the heavy, aggressive herbs. Yeah. You know, you throw in like a dill or a chervil in here, it's just going to wilt down and disappear. So you want those nice, great flavors like the sage and the rosemary and thyme.
Root vegetables can handle it. They're such hearty vegetables.
Oh, for sure.
So you can go for it.
And you can stir all this up, but you really don't have to. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's going to start to roast down, but slowly just throw this in a low oven and let it just tick away. But look at that.
Okay, so there you have it. You threw it in there for what, 25 minutes?
Probably about 40 minutes at about 350. Okay. But you can go higher temperature if you want to watch it more. Yeah. But you know, it's really, you know, just put it in a low temperature and forget about it for a while. You can do other things.
Right. The key is to watch it if you're going for the high temperature.
Well, because the honey will burn.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what's great is while it's warm, this is where you want to really bring it together. Is you take all those and smell that. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's
Isn't it great?
Good.
Because the herbs have come together, the honey's there.
Yeah, that's
but then,
great.
Toasted walnuts.
I like
crunch,
that.
you know? So throw a little walnuts in there. Dried cherries.
Yes.
Oh, love dried cherries.
So good.
But you could throw dried cranberries in there.
You get some sweetness going on.
Yep. And then what you do is you just throw a little bit of goat cheese in there.
That's good.
And because it's warm, it's actually going to mix together quite well.
It's all going to melt.
Yeah. And then you just kind of mix it up. Now you can go to the pastry warm if you like, but it's going to be a little bit of an issue. So you can actually chill it down. Okay. And you end up with a nice filling like that.
So now we got to work on the pastry. So we've got the filling now.
I just love that all these companies are selling, you know, puff pastry, pre-rolled sheets.
It's easy.
But I'll tell you though, it's already pre-rolled. Doesn't mean it's always the thickness you want.
Right.
People are kind of, that's the way it is. No, not always. So I've actually taken a sheet and then just rolled it out a little bit thinner.
Okay, so you did that already.
Yeah, so this was
we don't get to use this?
Well, I think that was actually to kind of, I figured you want to keep me in line or something like that. So, you know, I'll
just be right here watching you,
You just watch, make sure I don't mess up.
Parsnips.
Oh, here we go. Man.
Never again. I'll never say it again, Chef Parsnips. But, that's it. I'm done. I'm done.
I feel like a chef jacket coming on with the wrong name. The leg wash. I know all it is egg yolks. You know, I mean, just brush it down like that. And then you just take your filling. Now you can make smaller ones. You can actually really make the really small, like almost the size of a loony or toonie, bake it down.
Yeah, teeny tiny.
Little canapes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want to make a strudel. Come on, you know? So just pack it in there like that. And this is where you just have to start getting your rolling going on.
Nice.
So.
Okay, so make sure it's all jam-packed in there, and then you are folding it all together. You make it look so easy.
There we go. Maybe take the pastry out, the paper, you know. So, but the thing is don't get too finicky with this because it's going to bake down. But just keep rolling. There we go.
It's a little sticky
there we go.
if it's been hanging out
no,
here for a
it's
while.
good. It's good.
Good.
Look at that. That's fantastic.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's roll that right off the pastry. And then what's great with this is you can do two things. If you're going to present it, then I would say fold your ends under. But if you're not going to present it, just cut it because you waste the ends otherwise.
Okay.
All right? But I mean, if you are going to present it, it's always nice to just trim the end, fold it like that, roll it over.
That's perfection.
Look at that.
Okay, so that gets baked.
Yep, so then we just brush it with a little bit more egg yolk.
Yeah.
And at this point, you can just bake it. Comes out beautiful like that.
That looks amazing. And crispy on the outside, too.
And you
That's
can
good.
even actually, if you want, sprinkle a little bit more herbs on the outside,
Lovely.
a little sea salt on the outside, bake it, do whatever you want, but you've got a simple strudel. And look at that, isn't that fantastic?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Cityline.ca for all the recipes today. Let's go to break. More coming up. Stay with us.